to BBC Sport's live coverage of Sunderland ladies against Arsenal ladies at the Hetton Centre in the WSL Spring Series. I'm Vicky Sparks, and alongside Reading goalkeeper Mary Earps, you can watch every kick live with us on the BBC Sport website and the BBC Red button. Just a few minutes away from kick-off, team news coming right up. But Mary, you were involved in a 6-goal thriller with Reading against Liverpool on Friday night. Will we see goals again here today?
I think so, yeah. I think especially from Arsenal's front line, you see some very exciting attacking players. So whether or not it will be a 6-goal thriller, I'm not sure, but yeah, I reckon you'll definitely see some goals.
Well, as the teams go through their pre-match handshakes, we should mention that this is a kick-it-out game today. Both teams supporting and dedicating this match to the organisation which campaigns for equality and inclusion in football. Well, Sunderland will have to find a way to cope without top scorer Beth Mead this season. She left them to join Arsenal back in January, and she is on the Arsenal bench today after suffering a broken collarbone in the last match. Now, Mead was one of several star players to depart Sunderland, including Brooke Chaplin, who joined Reading, and between them they scored over half of Sunderland's 22 goals last season. So Sunderland lining up without Mead, without Chaplin. One change from that impressive draw with Birmingham. Steph Roche coming in for Dan Brown at right wing back. So Sunderland line up, they're going to go 3-5-2. Anke Preuss in goal, one of their two new signings. A back three of Steph Bannon, the captain, Hayley Sharp and Victoria Williams. Abby Holmes playing left wing back, and we think Steph Roche will play right wing back. Then a midfield three of Dominic Brunenberg, their other new signing, Maddie Hill and Lucy Staniforth, with Beverly Leon and Abby Joyce up front. Now, Arsenal may have a bigger squad than Sunderland, but they've been struggling with injuries, particularly star midfielder Kim Little, one of those to miss out today, but they do welcome back captain Alex Scott as they make 3 changes from the FA Cup defeat to Birmingham. Scott returns, and 18-year-olds Anna Patton and Lottie Wibbermoy start in defence. Little, McCabe and Williamson drop out. So Arsenal with Van Veenendaal in goal, a back four of Scott, Janssen, Wibbermoy and Patton, Williams, Van der Donk and Nobbs in midfield, and then O'Reilly and Taylor supporting Carter up front. Mary, in terms of that, a big miss for Arsenal, Kim Little missing out today.
Yeah, she's a world-class player, but at the same time there's a lot of quality in that Arsenal side, so whilst they will for sure miss her, they definitely have enough in that team.
And as we approach kick-off, just how big an upset would it be for Sunderland to get a result against Arsenal today?
Massive, to say the least. I think everyone knows, you know, what's been happening with them kind of in the off season since last season, with them going part-time, and I think they will they'll want to set the record straight and just kind of curb any misconceptions about what happened there.
Yes, it was after that switch to part-time that Beth Mead did decide to leave Sunderland for Arsenal, and some would say, as Sunderland's preparing their pre-match huddle, some would say that they did well to keep on to her for so long.
Yeah, I think she's a northern girl, born and bred, so she wanted to stay up there as long as possible. She obviously had her academic commitments as well, but you know, she obviously felt like now was the right time to push on.
So it will be Arsenal to get us underway in this WSL Spring Series at the Hetton Centre, up against Sunderland. And Williams will kick off to Carter. Early running from Van der Donk, intercepted by Holmes. Hayley Sharp, who's already scored once for Sunderland this season in their FA Cup victory over Aston Villa. And Sunderland's defence will be so important today. But the stats from last season don't really bode well for them. They had the second worst defence in WSL 1, conceding 41 goals. And when you're up against a side like Arsenal, it's not necessarily the most positive thing to be thinking about going into this game. Van Veenendaal the Netherlands international. Scots back in the side today. A big boost for Arsenal. They were at one stage going into this game with only one fit senior defender in Liam Williamson, who in fact hasn't made the side today. But encouraging for the Gunners to have the England international back at right back, and she's on the ball again. Away from Roche. Nobbs dispossessed by Abby Joyce, known as Sunderland's Little Messi for the tenacity and pace that she has on the ball. Williams to take the throw. Cleared by Scott. Allen misses that header, but gets enough on it for Preuss. Arsenal with Williams. Scott looking for the run of Heather O'Reilly, but too much on that. O'Reilly, one of 3 of Arsenal's new signings this summer. Joined in January after leaving Kansas City, and a big boost for the WSL to be able to attract players from the US. Mary Epps, Heather O'Reilly at Arsenal, Carly Lloyd, of course, at Manchester City, and Crystal Dunn at Chelsea.
Yeah, I think that just shows where the league's going. I think it's great to see the ambition of clubs trying to bring these players in as well.
Sunderland win the throw. Victoria Williams will take. Stanifer. Back to Williams. Collected by Brunnenberg. Holmes had made a good run. In the end, wasn't able to be found. And Arsenal will have a free kick. In fact, it's gone the way of Sunderland. So a chance perhaps to launch this ball forward. Bannon instead opts to play it short to Sharp. Looking for the run of Beverly Leon. And Van Veenendaal collects. We should say, Mary Epps, that by this point in the game, against yourselves and Liverpool, it was 1-1. Where are the early goals here?
And a frantic first 5 minutes in our game. And to be honest, I'd be quite happy if that never happened again. But yeah, frantic first 5 minutes, and not so much in this game, but Arsenal have had a lot of possession so far. So we'll just see if they can continue to keep building and create some attacks.
Yes, 6-goal thrillers. Great to watch as a fan, not so great to play in when you're a goalkeeper. Scott coming forward for Arsenal. Good run. Forced to check. Headed away from Carter. Always dangerous, the England striker. Janssen. Carter. No one there in a yellow shirt. Williams clears. Brunnenberg away from Nobbs. Stanifer almost lost possession. But Holmes will complete the clearance. Picked up by Carter. Under pressure from Joyce and Holmes. Carter. Too much on that. Well intercepted by the young Maddie Hill. Up against Nobbs. And her England teammate Scott helps her out. To another England teammate, Williams. The quality in Arsenal's starting 11 evident all over the pitch. Janssen. Couldn't quite control that Nobbs. And in the end, wild from Scott. But Arsenal have started well.
Yeah, they're looking pretty dominant already. They're passing the ball around quite nicely. And there was some good build-up play for that ball out wide to Alex Scott, and a better cross. Could have seen an effort on target.
Well, Preuss in the Sunderland starting 11 today in the absence of Hild Gunnar Olsen. has a foot injury, is close to a return, but that's set to be an interesting battle between the keepers at Sunderland this season, and Preuss so far has played well, particularly in that 0-0 draw with Birmingham. Sunderland's first game of the Spring Series.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy foul for the referee to give, just overly forceful from the Sunderland defender.
So Williams with this set piece specialist, of course, Farrell Williams, cleared away by Sharp. Joyce collects, trying to use her pace to get away from Jordan Nobbs. Roche with the long ball over the top for Leon. And Van Veenendaal with time to take a touch. And it will be important for Sunderland in this game to ensure that Beverly Leon doesn't become isolated up top as Carter brings it forward for Arsenal. Williams' touch lets her down. And Roche to Williams. Roche filling in at left wing back today. Not her usual position. She is more of a winger / striker. As Arsenal win another free kick, and Sunderland need to be careful of these niggly fouls.
Yeah, I think they're pretty soft fouls to start with, really. Obviously, they're trying to stop Arsenal from gaining momentum, and I think that's all fine, but they will start adding up eventually, and the referee will be counting.
Carter. 1-2 with Janssen. Early ball in, and Preuss will watch that behind.
Again, it's another ball out wide, and again, nice build-up play. Arsenal are obviously well known for their possession football and their tick-attacker, if you like, but yeah, I think it will be a matter of time before they start to get the ball in the box and have a better quality on those crosses.
Well, if there was a side you didn't necessarily want to face in your first home game of the season for Sunderland, it probably would be Arsenal. They've lost their last 7 meetings with them, going back to 2009, and in fact conceded 16 goals in just 3 games against Arsenal last season. If there's a definition of a bogey side, Arsenal are probably that for Sunderland.
Yeah, I think if they can try not to concede early and just feel themselves into the game, they'll go from strength to strength maybe, but yeah, maybe not keen to face them first.
Williams. A little short there from Hill. Williams did well to recover. Sharp under pressure. And caught by Pedro Martinez Losa, the Arsenal coach. He's won 2 trophies with the Gunners since taking over in mid-2014, the Continental Cup in 2015, the FA Cup in 2016. But for a club with the pedigree of Arsenal in the women's game, it's the title they'll want to reclaim, and soon.
Yeah, they've got some heavy competition as well. Obviously, Man City and Chelsea getting stronger and stronger each season. But Arsenal are always going to be up there. You know, you look at their squad, it's very, very, very strong, full of internationals. So they'll be competing again, for sure.
Sunderland throw. Yes, it's not just the title that's key for Arsenal, it's that Champions League qualification. They haven't qualified since 2012, which was the last time they won the league, and Josephine Henning, the defender who left for Lyon at the start of this season, citing the lack of Champions League football as a big reason for her decision to leave Arsenal. O'Reilly, back to Scott. Patton, who's making her first start for Arsenal today, turned 18 last week. Williams. Wibben-Moy back in the side today, another youngster after injury. And that shows that the Spring Series is what these managers of so many of the WSL 1 clubs have said, a good opportunity to bring some of their young players through. Nobbs does well to get there, but Preuss sharply out of her 6-yard box.
Yeah, quite a simple through ball, but again, it was bouncing, which could have been a little awkward. But no, she's read it well to come and collect.
0-0 in this first game of the Spring Series for Arsenal. Of course, they should have played Notts County on the opening weekend. Huge blow for women's football that Notts County had to fold on the eve of the Spring Series, and as a player, Mary Earps, obviously hard to see.
Yeah, no one wants to see that, and obviously knowing people at Notts County, that's definitely not what I want my friends to be going through on the day before they're supposed to be starting the season. But it's been great to see the PFA and the FA get really behind them and sort out the contracts very, very quickly so they can sign for new clubs almost immediately.
Offside against Taylor. Yes, and we should mention that Louise Quinn, who joined Notts County only in February, is on the Arsenal bench today, having signed for Arsenal. Some news that we received just before kick-off. So the defender has found a new club, and the rest of the Notts County squad will be hoping that they can do the same. The FA allowing those moves to be made despite the transfer window having officially closed, but of course an unusual circumstance. O'Reilly looking for Carter, almost got the header in on goal, recycled by Van der Donk. Janssen headed away from Taylor, might drop for Carter, sharp, a little risky, and cleared away.
Yeah, the first ball in from Heather O'Reilly from that right-hand side was fantastic with her left foot, asking to be headed in by Dan Carter, but the defender just about put her off.
Sunderland again playing some risky stuff at the back. O'Reilly, Scott looking for Carter again, too much on that, and Holmes will clear. Intercepted though by Janssen. Arsenal flooding forward, putting the Sunderland defence under pressure. It's so hard for the home side to just get hold of the ball at the moment. Nice touch from Nobbs. Riley can't keep that in. And a bit of respite for the home side.
Yeah, they're going to need to take it as and when they can, just slow the game down, really manage the game in an intelligent way. But Arsenal are building momentum all the time. They're not under any pressure, popping the ball around and recycling it around the back four and the midfield really well.
Another loose touch, almost letting Nobbs in there. Former Sunderland player, of course, Jordan Nobbs. Left them in 2010 after Sunderland failed initially to get into the WSL. It was a bid system, so your bid was assessed on marketing and commercial grounds as well as results on the pitch, and it was a controversial decision at the time and cost Sunderland the services of several of their top players, Steph Walton, Lucy Bronze, and of course Jordan Nobbs, now of Arsenal.
I think a lot of people were surprised at that time because of how many players they brought through, particularly England internationals, as a few of the names you've just mentioned. But that's the way it went down. So a lot of them left, and yeah, they've always got a strong history of bringing players through, like Beth Mead and the players that you've already mentioned today.
See Mel Ray there, the Sunderland head coach, in the background of Pedro Martinez Losa, who will be pleased with how his side have started this game. Can they sneak ahead? Good free kick in by Williams and headed behind. And Sunderland hanging on at the moment.
Yeah, Arsenal are now starting to really get their balls into the box with a little bit more quality, getting a real dangerous whip on the ball, which makes it incredibly hard to defend.
Plenty to aim in there for Danielle van der Donk. Brought down and fired at Preuss by Taylor, saved well. Williams. Scott tries the early ball forward. Holmes will collect.
Yeah, Holmes has taken the opportunity to slow the game down, see it out for a goal kick, and try and again give Sunderland a little bit of respite, let the goalkeeper take the kick and give them some time to regroup.
Well, Mel Ray only took charge of Sunderland last month after Carlton Fairweather left by mutual agreement 2 months after the club's change to a more part-time status. They've been operating predominantly as a full-time outfit. They do still have 9 full-time players compared to 12 last season, but a reduction in full-time staff saw Fairweather decide to leave and Ray took over. He's been associated with Sunderland for the last 2 decades, so it's a club she knows inside out. But they have a big job on their hands in the Spring Series and this afternoon against Arsenal. Nobbs, O'Reilly. Lucky again for Taylor, headed away by Sharp. Janssen can't get there ahead of Leon, the Sunderland striker, having to come very deep to help out her teammates. And that's exemplified by the fact that Abby Joyce is the furthest forward Sunderland player on the edge of the centre circle. Sunderland finding it hard to stem the flow of the visitors.
Yeah, they're dropping in quite deep just to try and go man for man, and Arsenal's movement is very, very good. It's very, very clever, and they'll keep the ball and they'll move it around, particularly between midfield and the back four. They're happy to lay it off, even go back to the goalkeeper when needs be, and they'll just move you around and wait for an opening. They're very, very patient in their play, and that's why sometimes it can be very, very difficult to play against them.
Sunderland will say it's still 0-0, but that sort of possession football from the visitors just takes that energy out of you. Your concentration has to be at 100%. And with the pace that Arsenal have as Van der Donk goes tumbling again, it takes a lot out of you physically and mentally.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that, you know, they haven't really done too much with their possession so far. They've had a few crosses which have maybe had a little bit too much height on them, which has allowed the Sunderland defenders to head it away. That said, Arsenal are looking very, very comfortable, and, you know, they're just winning all the second balls every time Sunderland clear them.
Scott. Ball again, looking for Taylor. Shot driven in by Nobbs, cleared by Sharp. Joyce collects. And Roche clears downfield, but nobody there for Sunderland. Arsenal throw. Well, they will be hoping to see their team this season kicking on Arsenal. We've said how important it is for them to really challenge Manchester City and indeed Chelsea at the top of the league when the season proper starts in September. The WSL switch to a winter calendar is why we're having the Spring Series. It's a closed league. Too soft from Carter, and Preuss can gather easily.
I think just a misplaced through ball there from Dan Carter. I could see what she was trying to do. I think she was just trying to play it into the feet of the striker just in front of her, but the quality of the pass wasn't good enough, and the goalkeeper can now kick long.
0-0. Farrah Williams orchestrating in midfield for Arsenal as usual. She's been such an important player for them since signing from Liverpool. Holmes trying to set Joyce away, pulled down by Staniforth. Now Bannon scored 2 own goals against Arsenal last season in the 5-1 league defeat. So unfortunate for Steph Bannon. She's been captain of Sunderland for a decade, since she was 18. In fact, captained them in the 2009 FA Cup final, which they lost to Arsenal, as Leon is adjudged to have committed the foul. Free kick taken quickly by Van Veenendaal, but good pace there from the Sunderland striker. Williams. Staniforth. Again trying to release a teammate, this time Joyce away quickly. Sunderland throw. And you sense that that is certainly Sunderland's plan A today. Get it up top, get it up quick, and try and get Joyce with her pace or Leon with her strength in behind.
Yeah, I think you know, you've got to play to your strength in these sort of games. It would be nice to see them try and keep possession a little bit more and just really build into the game, because I think that's how you really get your feel, and you start to gain more confidence.
Lovely touch from Holmes. Under pressure from Van der Donk, can't get past Janssen. And Patton comes across to clear. Good defending by the 18-year-old. But a good run by Abby Holmes.
Yeah, and good play. I think just as we were talking there, you already see Sunderland just having a good pattern, a good spell on the ball, and that does wonders, particularly when you're playing against a side such as Arsenal, who are so dominant in possession.
Holmes with the throw. Looking for Leon, headed away. Sunderland will be happy just to have a bit of the ball. Still 0-0. Holmes receives it from Staniforth. Past Carter, who fouls her. And Sunderland's opportunity with a set piece.
Yeah, I think a bit of a silly foul. It's good feet from Abby Holmes, really. And I think Dan Carter knew she was beaten, so she just pulled her down. But it's a dangerous area for Steph Roach to whip the ball in.
Well, we know Roche has talent. She was runner-up in the FIFA 2014 Puskás Award for the best goal scored at any level of football. What can she do with this set-piece delivery? Not much is the answer. You've got to beat the first player there. Got it past the wall, but too easily cleared away by Arsenal. Yeah,
not a good delivery in at all. And Sunderland are going to have to be really, really smart when they get into those areas, because they might be few and far between in this game. So they must get it into the box and commit bodies forward and really get some efforts on goal.
Well, Holmes is capable of really launching it into the penalty area. The layoff was poor. Picks it up again. Swung in by Sharp and headed. What a save by Van Veenendaal. Well, Sunderland that time worked it well. The quality delivery was there, and it's an excellent save from Sari Van Veenendaal.
Yeah, very, very, very good save to keep Arsenal in the game, and that's how quickly a game can change. Good delivery, good header, and she's managed to make a reaction save as she's on the edge of her six.
So another opportunity for Sunderland, headed on by Sharp. Arsenal haven't quite got it away. Pin ball in the area, and a shot from Brunenberg flashes just wide. Well, Sunderland certainly showing Arsenal that they are capable of troubling them.
I think that this just highlights what Arsenal have got to be really wary of. You know, talking earlier about how important set pieces can be, especially for Sunderland, who are tall, physical, and can compete in the box. So yeah, no cheap set pieces today.
She's a former Netherlands youth international, Dominic Brunenberg, signed in February from the Italian side Verona. And with Sunderland losing so many of their key players ahead of this spring series, Beth Mead on the Arsenal bench today, Brooke Chaplin and Rachel Furness joining your side, Mary, at Reading. They need their new signings to step up, and she came close to giving Sunderland what would be a shock lead at the Hetton Centre.
Yeah, I think if they can grab a goal at any stage in this game, but if they can get Arsenal on the back foot and go ahead, that would be brilliant for them.
Brunenberg involved again, headed clear. Helped on by Hill. Scott collects. Janssen. Ruben Moy brings it forward. Made just the one appearance last season. Taylor. Scott racing through. Williams anticipated it. clears. Janssen to Van der Donk. Up against Stanifith. That's ball from Danielle Van der Donk, who scored a hat-trick against Sunderland last season, as Janssen gets a foot in that 7-0 FA Cup semi-final win, which was such a huge disappointment for Sunderland because Arsenal went down to 10 players at 0-0. Emma Mitchell sent off. Sunderland couldn't take advantage and suffered a crushing defeat. Williams. Now Scott. Good run by Nobbs. Finds a bit of space. Taylor back to Nobbs. Opportunity for Arsenal. A good save by Preuss just to turn it away from the onrushing Carter. Arsenal threatening.
Yeah, I think it's a good decision for the goalkeeper to intervene. Quite often in those areas, the key decision is do you hold, do you go in, because there are a lot of bodies around there, so it could fall to anyone. But it's a good decision, and she's put it wide as well.
Again, that's poor from Van der Donk. O'Reilly can't keep it in. Just need a little bit more quality from Danielle Van der Donk so far in this game. We know what she can do, but a couple of misplaced passes.
Yeah, I think in the last few minutes she's had so much time on the ball. I think maybe that, having too little and too much time can often catch you out in the same way.
Good pressure from Taylor. Wins a corner. The England striker had such a disappointing first season at Arsenal, signed ahead of last season but was injured for virtually all of it. Made her debut in the second last game, did score twice coming off the bench against Doncaster, so not a bad debut. But she will be hoping, particularly with Euro 2017 coming up, she is in the squad for that. One of 3 Arsenal players. She will want to get plenty of game time. Hacked clear by Sunderland. Brunnenberg. Clearance completed, but only as far as Scott. Janssen can't control. Pedro Martinez-Losa, well, he would have been happy with the start to the game, but just a little bit of sloppiness from Arsenal in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think in all fairness, Sunderland have defended the wide balls really quite well. A lot of the attacking play and the threatening play that Arsenal have been out in the wide areas where they've tried to cross the ball in, and the balls have been with good quality, and Sunderland defended well. But yeah, the pass completion has definitely decreased over the last few minutes, and they'll be looking to really improve that.
And that is such an Arsenal trait, isn't it, whether we're talking men's or women's game.
Yeah, they're all about possession football. Even if it's just a 2-yard pass, they want to move the ball, and they haven't done that as well over the last few minutes, but I'm sure it's just a little blip. They'll get back to the basics that they know.
Sharp wins the free kick against Carter. Bannon sends it forward. What can O'Reilly do down this right-hand side? Well defended by Sunderland. Stanifith. Again looking for that ball in behind. Scott should deal with that. Chased down by Leon. Nobbs. To Williams. England's most capped player as Dan Carter goes tumbling. Wants to take the free kick quickly, but will not be allowed to by the referee.
Yeah, clear foul taken out by Abby Holmes, I think it was, just to try and stop the momentum in their play. Dan's got very quick feet, and she's got a quick burst of pace as well, so she's beat the defender, and the defender's brought her down.
Not in Mark Sampson's Euro 2017 squad for the tournament in the Netherlands in the summer. Is that a surprise omission for you, Mary-Earp? Stan Carter, she was the joint top scorer in qualifying. Obviously England have such a plethora of attacking talent, you can't take them all.
Yeah, I think the squad, you know, it's a strong squad, and I think there's so many players that Mark could have picked from, and unfortunately not everyone can go. But I know Dan quite well, and I'm sure she will use it as motivation to keep going and to keep striving to be better and make sure she's in the next one.
She's on the ball now. She did say she was massively gutted to have missed out, but with time on her side, she's only 23, you would think she would be a big part of the England setup for years to come. Wienendahl looks to start an attack quickly. Arsenal trying to crank up the pressure as it still remains 0-0.
I think that was a good decision by Van Wienendahl to try and get the counter going, because, you know, if you had a look, I think they were 3 for 3 versus Sunderland just there. You know, they had 3 attackers versus 3 defenders, so if that had come off, it would have been very good.
Nice touch by Joyce. Leon couldn't quite get away from her marker. Staniforth takes over, and Leon hadn't anticipated that. And Wubben-Moy will shepherd it back to Van Wienendahl. Well, that's the thing when you come in as a new signing. Beverly Leon has been with Sunderland since September, but hasn't played that many competitive games for them, and just needing to work on that understanding a little bit with Lucy Staniforth.
It takes a little bit of time for you to build that relationship with your teammates. You know, this is only one of their, you know, very early games. So as time grows, I'm sure, you know, they'll start to learn more and more about each other, and more about what each other is capable of, and they'll be on the same wavelength.
Janssen, the Netherlands international, take this throw. Cleared away by Sunderland, who have restricted Arsenal from driving through the middle into the penalty area. The opportunities when they've come have been from Arsenal's wide play balls into the box. So far, they haven't been able to make them count.
I think Arsenal have played into Sunderland's hands a little bit. Sunderland have dropped off. It's clearly their game plan to go forward and play long balls and try and get some pace in behind, you know, Arsenal's back four, but they have a lot of time on the ball sometimes, and they just are giving it away cheaply.
Holmes with another interception. She's been a big player for Sunderland. Spent her whole career at the club. Joyce has to turn, not quite quickly enough, away from Van der Donk.
I think that's another example on the edge of the box where you really are expecting Arsenal to do a little bit better and create some attacks on goal and on target, and they're just giving the ball away. Little toe pokes, which the back three of Sunderland are finding it easy to pick up.
And now it's Arsenal's turn to give away a niggly foul through Jordan Nobbs. Williams inadvertently has turned into a great ball, even though she slipped while playing it forward. Holmes whips it in. Turn and shot from Leon and blocked. The follow-up by Holmes. But good endeavour by Sunderland. And they have another opportunity to get this into the Arsenal box.
Yeah, I think Sunderland have looked threatening, in all fairness. So, you know, when they've actually got into the 6-yard box and had a couple of, you know, near attacks, really. They've created some good stuff.
Roche with the corner. Will be cleared by Van der Donk. Intelligent ball, sets Nobbs away. The England international using her pace. Brunnenberg's there with her. Nobbs lays it off to Taylor. The ball in was poor. And Preuss collects easily. Well, that's a wasted opportunity there for Arsenal. Carter in space in the penalty area. If the delivery had been better, that could have been 1-0.
Yeah, I think it's the story of the first half, in all honesty. I think that's a great run by Jordan to really drive out with some intensity, some pace and some purpose. Good release ball out wide, and again a poor ball in.
Janssen whips the ball in, but Sunderland have bodies in the way. Stanifer. Arsenal pressing high again. Preuss calm in possession.
I think Staniforth's been Sunderland's standout player so far. She's moved the ball very well, and she's brought a certain calmness to their play, even though they've been under pressure quite a lot.
Again, almost played in by Brunnenberg there. Arsenal not able to keep hold of the ball at the moment, and it is not often that you say that about Pedro Martinez-Lewis's side. On it now, though. Nobbs. It's asking a lot of O'Reilly. Williams did well to make the challenge.
Yeah, I think that's a great ball actually into Jordan. I think it's Van der Donk who played it, I think, or maybe Janssen, but a great ball into her through bodies, but yeah, not a good ball into Heather O'Reilly, which stopped them from building the attack.
Can she find a better one here? Sharp is under it. We'll get it away. Intelligent play by Sharp. Joyce running at Van der Donk and Janssen. A little messy, using her skills. Couldn't quite break past Williams in the end, but good skill from Abby Joyce.
Yeah, she didn't really have a lot going with her. The only option was for her to try and run past maybe 5 or 6 Arsenal players, which was only ever going to end one way.
A real ebb and flow to this game now as Arsenal come forward. Scott, Nobbs, O'Reilly making the run, back to Scott. Williams does well to get it away from Taylor. Nobbs again though. He's trying several combinations to unpick the lock of Sunderland's defence. And then Patton with a miscontrol, Sunderland throw.
Yeah, I think Arsenal just need to recognise a little bit better when they can switch the play out. They spent a lot of time down that right-hand side just then, when they really could have recycled it and switched it out and maybe found some space on the other side.
Roche. Williams sends it forward. A loose touch there from Abby Holmes, and this gives Dan Carter an opportunity. Carter past Bannon, tries to feed Taylor, and Preuss will collect. But that is what Arsenal can do if you give away possession. The pace of Dan Carter driving at the Sunderland defence, in the end couldn't quite create the opportunity.
Yeah, a good drive from Danielle Carter. I could see what she was trying to do to feed the ball through to Jodie Taylor, but you know, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, just shoot them, just have a go. You know, you're in the position on the edge of the box, you know, make the goalkeeper work, because Jodie was heavily marked as well. She was running to create space.
Well, she was Arsenal's top scorer last season with 9 goals, including 2 in that 7-0 FA Cup win over Sunderland. As Holmes swings the ball in, looking for Leon. Van Veenendaal collects. Scott. Taylor come deep to receive the ball, and in the end is not on the wavelength of any of her teammates.
No, the goalkeeper's just kicked the ball out, so...
Yes, Brunnenberg is down. looks like it may have been off the ball. Certainly the play wasn't in her vicinity. But Sunderland had such poor luck last season with injuries to their new signings. They are still missing Rachel Pittman and Kyla Showman, who between them played about 4 matches, 2 of their 4 new signings ahead of last season. They will not want to see Dominic Brunenberg out for any length of time, particularly when you have reduced the size of your squad, you have lost several important players, you brought 2 players in, you don't want to lose one of them.
Absolutely not. I mean, injuries are part and parcel of the game, and now obviously women's football is going more and more professional. You know, the risk of injury, of course, increases when you're training more, when you're playing more. But no one wants to see anybody get injured. Yeah, especially when you've got a small squad.
Farrah Williams and Alex Scott there holding a bit of a post-mortem of Arsenal's first half. What will they be saying, Mary?
I think they'll just be saying to maybe move the ball a little bit sharper, try and get Sunderland moving a little bit more. They're finding it quite easy to pick off loose passes and really take care of the ball. And I think, you know, if they, as and when they do get into the final third, there needs to be a little bit more quality. I feel like we talk about it all the time. But you know, when they get into the final third, they really need to make sure the cross or the shot or whatever decision is made is of good quality and make the goalkeeper work. Because realistically, you know, the Sunderland goalkeeper hasn't really had any saves of note to talk about.
Brunenberg is back on for Sunderland, which is good news for them. Joyce almost steals in behind there. Sunderland throw. Abby Joyce, a player that, because of her diminutive stature, people, when Sunderland won promotion to WSL 1 for the 2015 season, they asked whether she would be able to hold her own in the top flight. But she stayed an important part of the team and has looked impressive today. It's Leon trying to get past Janssen, who does well. Taylor dispossessed by Sharp. Couldn't quite find Joyce. Patton to Scott. Away from Roche, who, playing a left wing back, has allowed her forward urges to take over there, but Arsenal not looking to punish by a quick attack and instead coming down the left as Van der Donk is dispossessed. Carter away from Holmes. 1 minute added time to be played. 0-0. And that will suit Sunderland very nicely as Williams tries to find Taylor, well blocked by Bannon, who clears emphatically. And Arsenal at the moment just can't find a way through.
No, they've been the better side, I think, in this half, even though Sunderland have created a couple of chances. But if Arsenal or Sunderland, if either side can grab a goal before half-time, that will set them up very nicely for the second half.
O'Reilly unable to reach that ball from Scott, cleared by Roche. Free kick. Sunderland closing in on what would be a very impressive half-time scoreline against a side whose pedigree in the women's game remains unmatched. 43 trophies in their 29-year history. Real giants.
Yeah, I think going back to a point you made earlier about Champions League, you know, you're quite right. Arsenal have a very, very rich history. And yeah, they haven't had Champions League for the last couple of years, but they can still attract top players, top internationals like Kim Little and O'Reilly. They can still attract those players, which is fantastic for them. But what top internationals want is Champions League. So, you know, if they can get a Champions League spot, I think they'll continue to go from strength to strength even more.
Yes, you do feel this spring series will be important, but the real defining season for Arsenal in terms of getting back into that Champions League will be when the season starts in September, and you just wonder how long they can go without European football as a club when teams like Manchester City and Chelsea are putting a lot of resources into their women's sides. Well, that is the half-time whistle, and Arsenal, for all their dominance, have not been able to find a way through. 0-0 with Sunderland at half-time. Preuss has been effective when called into action, but Mary Epps' Arsenal just haven't been able to do that as much as they would have liked to.
No, I don't think they've really made the goalkeeper work half as much as what they would have wanted to. She's had a couple of routine saves to make, a couple of balls to collect, but realistically, I think both Arsenal and Sunderland will have expected Arsenal to create a lot more than they have so far. But that said, they have had a lot of the ball, they have had a lot of possession, and they will be looking to continue that and score some goals in the second half.
But particularly in the last 15 minutes of the half, Sunderland certainly with their pace showing that they can trouble the Arsenal back line, and Van Veenendaal being called into action and making an important stop.
Yeah, I mean, Sunderland, you know, you can't write them off. They've created a couple of chances. They've made Van Veenendaal work, I would say, more than what Arsenal have made Preuss work.
Well, you can join us for the second half of Sunderland ladies against Arsenal ladies on the BBC Sport website and the red button in around 10 minutes time. 0-0 at the break. BBC Sports commentary of Sunderland ladies versus Arsenal ladies in the Women's Super League Spring Series. 0-0 at half-time. Mary Earps, the Reading goalkeeper, alongside me, your commentator Vicky Sparks. You can watch the whole second half live on the BBC Sport website or the BBC red button, wherever you're tuning in to us this afternoon. Thanks very much for joining us. So, Mary, what do Arsenal need to do in this second half, and what does Sunderland need to do to keep them at bay?
I actually think Sunderland did really well in the first half. Kept them at bay, dropped off strategically, tactically. I think they got it pretty well, and they actually created the better chances of the two sides. Arsenal had a lot of possession but didn't really do too much with it, so I think they'll be looking to be a little bit more penetrative, if you like, and really create some clear-cut chances.
The England internationals Jordan Nobbs and Jodie Taylor in discussion there, as Sunderland with Lucy Staniforth prepare to get us underway in this second half at the Hetton Centre. Arsenal have not, well, they've only lost one away league match in the last 2 seasons, but they're being held 0-0 here at the moment. Can Sunderland find a goal in this second half to pull off what would be the biggest shock of the spring series so far? Holmes coming forward early on. Veenendaal just about gets it away from Beverly Leon. Risky play by the Arsenal goalkeeper as the clearance is completed.
Yeah, I don't think she quite executed that as the way she wanted to. I could see what she was trying to do, you know, take a touch around the player, but your first touch has to be spot on if you're doing that, and it just had a little bit too much backspin on it.
Well, especially, 30 seconds into the second half, you're giving your opponents some encouragement as Arsenal give the ball away again. Lovely bit of footwork by Joyce in looking for Roche. Holmes tries the first time, Leon. Jordan Nobbs comes back to help out and in the end wins the goal kick. Really bright start from Sunderland.
Yeah, continuing from where they left off. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more tenacity to really get on that ball as it was bouncing around in the box. But yeah, Jordan Nobbs wanted the ball a little bit more and she cleared the danger.
Brunnenberg in there making a nuisance of herself as well. It was her header that was Sunderland's best chance in the first half. A good save by Van Veenendaal. And Arsenal simply not yet got going in this second half. Joyce looking for Leon, and Van Veenendaal will come and claim. Taylor. Staniforth takes it away from her. Brunnenberg looking to set Leon away. Scott collects. Janssen. Looking for Carter. Roche did well, but Nobbs takes over. All in, and O'Reilly finds it, and just across the face of goal. Sunderland allow it to go out for a goal kick. Great play.
Good ball in by Jordan. I'm not sure how that didn't get a touch. I think it was from Jodie Taylor in the middle, and then dragged wide by Heather O'Reilly. But a great opportunity with the ball falling in the 6-yard box, but they didn't make the keeper work.
Well, she's yet to score for Arsenal since arriving from Kansas City in January, Heather O'Reilly. Huge pedigree, the former US international. As it's tidied up at the back by Arsenal. Yes, 3-time Olympic champion, won the World Cup as well in 2015. Such a big name in US football. Credit to Arsenal that they have convinced her to come and play in England, but at the moment it's Arsenal that are under the cosh from Sunderland. Roche dispossessed by Nobbs, who's very lively today, at the heart of so much of everything that Arsenal have created in midfield. And given the ball away again, Stanifer. Good tenacity and early pressure from Sunderland in this second half. It's brought down by Joyce. Back to Brunnenberg. Holmes is on the overlap. Brunnenberg tries one, and Van Veenendaal has to tip over. The Arsenal goalkeeper called into action again from Brunnenberg, and Sunderland getting closer to taking a shock lead.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty standard tip over the bar from Van Veenendaal. Pretty central strike, but good to see them make the keeper work. But yeah, I think it was clever play from Sunderland on the outside of the box. I like that Brunnenberg, waited, bided her time, was looking to lay the ball off wide, but Janssen then dropped off and allowed her to get the shot off, and she took the opportunity. She didn't force play when she had space to strike.
Brunnenberg trying to give Roche the option for the short corner. Roche instead will swing the ball in. Let it clear. Underdog tries to bring it away for Arsenal, away from Brunnenberg. And now Nobbs, good running. Looking to set O'Reilly away. Williams missed that, but recovers well. Back to Preuss. Well dealt with by Sunderland. Lovely touch by Nobbs. Away from Carter. Patton. Williams to Scott. Back in the side today after injury, Alex Scott, the England international. Carter, a little loose for Nobbs, but she does well to get past Roche. Scott. Carter. Nobbs again. Put it away. Only as far as Williams. Janssen. Now all the way back to Patton. Good interception. Sunderland can come forward. Stanifer. Hill had continued her run. Collects from Scott. Leon. Hill past Scott. Maddie Hill. Straight at Van Veenendaal. Good movement from Sunderland, and the execution just needed to be better from Hill.
Yeah, I think Alex Scott will be disappointed that she didn't deal with that, and a pretty tame strike on goal in the end.
Arsenal's turn to come forward. Carter will chase that. Good defending by Steph Bannon. Arsenal throw. One of several Sunderland players who still work part-time, Steph Bannon. She works as a teacher. Told me once that she does get some stick from her students if she comes in off the back of a poor Sunderland result. I guess that's the hazard of teaching and also having a high-profile job as a player. Sunderland have already claimed one very impressive result in the Spring Series. Their opening match, 0-0 at Birmingham, showing an improvement from their defensive abilities last season. So far they are holding Arsenal at bay as well. O'Reilly, can she change that? Janssen ahead of her. Back to Williams. Ball in, flicked on by Taylor. Cleared away. Scott. Carter. Nobbs. Past Brunenberg. Nobbs continues the run. Loops it in. And off the post. Free kick given anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a free kick or offside or whatever it is, but I don't know how that didn't go in the back of the net anyway. But yeah, a really great ball in from Jordan to find Van der Donk at the back post, but you'd expect her to score from there.
Yes, whether she was penalised for a foul on Abby Holmes, but the Sunderland player in the end did enough to put her off. But Arsenal, were it not for the referee's whistle, coming closest to taking the lead, although Sunderland threatening in this half with Brunenberg. That shot tipped over by Van Veenendaal. Taylor up against Bannon, wins the throw. Williams. Scott screaming for it in the centre. Williams finds her. Forward comes the Arsenal skipper. Well dispossessed by Lucy Staniforth. Sunderland trying to play their way out of trouble. Leon wins the free kick. And Mel Ray, the Sunderland head coach, will be encouraged to see her side wanting to play their way out of trouble rather than just launching the ball downfield, particularly when Leon, the striker, is inside the Sunderland half.
Yeah, I think the old cliche that she'll be the happiest of the two managers seems to apply here. She'll be happy with her team's resolve, I think, whereas Arsenal, I think, will be pretty disappointed that they haven't done more with their possession, and they haven't really created too many clear-cut opportunities, and I think they'll be disappointed that they haven't scored. But that said, Sunderland, I think, have had the more threatening of opportunities.
Well, goal scoring will be so key for Sunderland in this Spring Series as they adjust to the loss of Beth Mead, their top scorer for the last 4 seasons, who of course left to join Arsenal in January. She is on the bench today, having suffered a broken collarbone last month. Brooke Chaplin as well, who joined Marriott's side, Reading. They scored 12 of Sunderland's 22 goals last season, so imperative as Arsenal win a free kick that Sunderland find goal scorers in and amongst the team that they have for this Spring Series.
Yeah, I think from today that they're seem a little bit more defensive minded, which is to be expected when you lose, your top goal scorers and much of your attacking threat. But again, I can't keep saying over and over again about the chances that they've created have been very good. So I think that's very pleasing.
Good run from Van der Donk on that right-hand side. Couldn't quite be found though. Sunderland throw. Victoria Williams will take it. She loves to score goals, the defender. Got 3 last season, has 1 already this season in that FA Cup win over Aston Villa. She is a real threat from set pieces. At the moment, it's Arsenal who are showing the threat at the Hetton Centre as Van der Donk tumbles on the edge of the area. Carter. Scott on the overlap will take that away from Roche. Carter goes down, Scott continues. Ball in was poor though. And Sunderland again will try and play it out from the back. Leon dispossessed though by Van der Donk. Good work from the Dutch international.
She was determined to win that ball back, and I think that's always good to see, especially from an attacking player, really wanting to get behind the ball and win it back.
Janssen stabs it in, cleared by Williams. Bit of space for Sunderland to come forward. Sharp under pressure from Taylor. And picked up at the back by Arsenal. Well kept in fact not kept in over on that far side by O'Reilly. Well, Arsenal last season in the league only dropped points against Manchester City, Chelsea and Birmingham, the other sides that made up the top four. And with 12 minutes gone in the second half, they are still being held.
Yeah, even though it's 0-0, I think, you know, you look at the Arsenal side and know that at any point, you know, there could be a moment of genius to kick the game into life. But at the moment, I think they'll be disappointed. But yeah, I think Arsenal side has a lot of quality and a lot of experience. So
just seeing Katie McCabe there, looking as though she may be about to come on for Pedro Martinez Losa's side. Nobbs urging her teammates forward to her England counterpart, Scott. Nobbs, Williams. Everywhere you look, there's an England player in an Arsenal shirt. And their most capped player on the ball now. Carter lays it back for Nobbs, well blocked by Williams. Holmes had to clear under pressure. She was trying to take a touch to take it away from O'Reilly, and in the end concedes the corner.
Yeah, she just took the decision to get rid of the ball, which is fair enough. But going back to the attacking play, I think that's good link-up play between Dan and Jordan. Dan held off the defender very, very well, laid it off to Jordan, who could get a strike off, but it was blocked again by Sunderland.
Chloe Kelly preparing to come on as well, so it looks as though it will be a double attacking change for Arsenal. They'll take this corner first though. Van der Donk, O'Reilly moves away. We'll swing this one in. And the header goes wide. Couldn't quite keep it down. And here comes this change. Katie McCabe, the first to enter the field of play for Jodie Taylor. And Chloe Kelly will follow her shortly. Slightly disappointing for the England striker.
Yeah, she hasn't really been on the ball too much. But yeah, you know, Katie McCabe coming on, and Chloe Kelly bringing some fresh legs and some energy, and Katie McCabe in particular can be quite tricky. So it'll be interesting to see how she fares up there.
Alex Scott, the other player to make way, which suggests that Arsenal may go to a 3 at the back. It's a formation that they have used in their 2 FA Cup games so far. That 10-0 win against Tottenham, who do play 2 divisions below them, but always good to win a North London derby. And the surprise quarter-final defeat to Birmingham. So we'll see how Arsenal reshape if they do. Coming forward with Carter up against Williams. Now O'Reilly receives it back from Nobbs. O'Reilly again. Can't find a teammate, and Sunderland clear.
Yeah, I think instantly from that change, you know, I don't know what information was passed onto the pitch, but there was more Arsenal players committed forward to try and press Sunderland as they were playing out. So that'll be interesting to see, as you say, if their formations change, but if strategically they've changed anything.
Well, it looks as though O'Reilly may have switched to right back. Let's see how this evolves. If she is a right back, she will be a very advanced right back. Janssen staying over on that left-hand side, and here is Heather O'Reilly on the ball. Lovely touch by Carter, gets past Williams, in field and just away by Sunderland. Picked up by Roche. Brunenberg fouled by Patton. Free kick to Sunderland. In fact, it was Leon in the vicinity there as well.
Yeah, Arsenal seem to be pressing a lot higher up the pitch now, really trying to put Sunderland under pressure whenever they're on the ball, particularly when you know, Sunderland's back 4 are on it. So that'll be interesting to see how Sunderland can cope with that new pressure and that new intensity, because playing out from the back under pressure is very, very different from when you've got time and space.
Williams with the free kick. Collected by Carter. Nobbs wants it in field. Picked up instead by Kelly. Now Janssen to McCabe. Van der Donk swings it in, takes a touch. Carter. Well, the slip was what undid the England striker, and Sunderland survived.
Yeah, Sunderland just need to be careful now that the distances between the units don't get too big. You can see the back four have been dropping off all game, which is clearly a theme that they've got going, but they just need to make sure that the gap between the midfield and the strikers doesn't get too big, so that Farrah Williams and alike don't have too much time on the ball to really spray and dictate the play. That's not what you want.
Arsenal penalised for a foul throw. Sunderland preparing to make a change as Mel Ray looks to improve on her record of 1 loss, 1 draw and 1 win from her opening 3 games in charge. But having held Birmingham to that impressive 0-0 draw, Birmingham FA Cup finalists already this season, finishing 4th, an impressive 4th last season as well. They are holding their own against Arsenal. O'Reilly with the throw. Carter under pressure from Roche. Back to Williams and all the way back to Van Veenendaal, and that is a sight that will please Sunderland, and even more now. Abby Joyce almost getting onto that ahead of Janssen, who in the end did well, but now she's given it away. Holmes to Hill. Leon can't collect. And Arsenal's turn to break forward. Miscontrol allows Roche to get on the ball. Neither side really able to hold on to possession at the moment. Carter tries to feed Kelly. Bannon does well. Not so well with the distribution though. Carter looking for McCabe. Good challenge by Abby Holmes. Picked up by Janssen. Nobbs chips in, hacked clear by Sharp, and out for an Arsenal throw. Sunderland now will make this change, and it will be Kira Ramshaw coming on for Beverly Leon, who hasn't really got into this game today.
No, I think it's always difficult, you know, it's always going to be difficult for the strikers against a strong Arsenal side. You know, they haven't seen a lot of the ball, her and Abby Joyce, so it's not surprising to make a change, maybe bring a little bit more energy to press in the back 3 now for Arsenal.
Well, she scored once last season, Kira Ramshaw, the 23-year-old, as Arsenal win a free kick, much to the aghastness of Lucy Staniforth. Dangerous position.
Yeah, another set piece for Arsenal, and Farah's got a really great delivery when she's on it, and even when she's not on it, she often finds a way to get it in the right area. So yeah, I'm expecting it to be whipped in.
Okay, there too, but yes, you would expect it to be Williams, and it is Williams, but she can't beat the first player. Staniforth past the wall. Arsenal pick it up again though. O'Reilly, McCabe, well dispossessed by Staniforth, might be collected by Van der Donk, who did well there. O'Reilly, Van der Donk, got a couple of nicks on the way through, and that allows Sunderland to clear and perhaps break with Abby Joyce. Brunenberg, Sunderland forcing their way into the Arsenal half, but not with a delivery like that from Roche.
I think those are the moments in the game where Sunderland have got to be a little bit smarter, working so hard to win the ball back and disrupt Arsenal's rhythm to then just concede possession so cheaply.
Williams tries one from distance. The deflection carried it through to Victoria Williams, who clears for Sunderland. Arsenal throw.
Arsenal just slightly hesitating on the ball when they're in and around the final third. Need a little bit more conviction behind these passes and crosses and shots, and maybe they'll get some joy.
Knobs to O'Reilly, to her left foot. Sharp heads away, and Holmes will bring the ball clear. Abby Holmes, who of course had that infamous run-in with the Arsenal legend Kelly Smith a couple of years ago with a tackle that she was red carded for. Smith made some comments about the intent of that tackle afterwards that led to her being reprimanded by the FA. So there is a little bit of recent history between Sunderland and Arsenal in these encounters, but all clean play so far this afternoon.
I think it'll be good to see Arsenal maybe whip the ball in a little bit lower, because you can see the Sunderland back three, or they have a lot of height and they're dealing with the crosses and the balls into the box quite well at the moment.
Carter's ball goes astray, but it's well won back by McCabe. Shot blocked by Sharp, picked up by Janssen. Handed away by Staniforth, only as far as O'Reilly. Up against Roche. O'Reilly's shot deflected and caught well by Preuss, who has not been tested in this second half.
No, not yet. I think Sunderland are blocking everything. They're throwing their bodies at everything, which from a goalkeeper's perspective is exactly what you want from your defenders. And I think they've defended really, really admirably in both halves so far, Sunderland.
Van der Donk did have that effort that came back off the post, but she'd already been penalised, and that really is the closest that Arsenal have come in this second half, as Sunderland win a set piece and Jordan Nobbs looks to the heavens.
Yeah, I think that's frustration more than maybe disagreeing with the foul. Frustration that maybe her side aren't in front, or maybe her side aren't creating more than what she'd like, as opposed to actually disagreeing with the decision for the foul itself.
So Staniforth with an opportunity to try and create something for Sunderland here. An ambitious lob of Van Veenendaal that was, you think, never going to catch out the Netherlands international.
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously seen that Van Veenendaal's maybe a little bit off her line. I didn't think she was too high, to be honest. I didn't think her positioning was too high. Or maybe she's caught it wrong. But yeah, if the goalkeeper's conceding that, you'd be, from a goalkeeper's perspective, you're going to be pretty disappointed.
Midway through the second half, still 0-0. Ronenberg almost in behind there. Tidied up at the back by Arsenal. Sunderland not afraid to commit players forward in those moments. Roche tries to set Abby Joyce away. Picked up by Anna Patton, the 18-year-old, and now Carter. Challenge though from Staniforth. Carter's gone down and looks to be in some real discomfort there. Sunderland play the ball out, and Dan Carter looks as though she may have landed very awkwardly.
Yeah, she looked in pain almost instantly. I think it's a fair challenge. I don't think it's a foul necessarily. I do think she's won the ball, but the angle in which she's come in at, I think, has meant that Dan's fell quite awkwardly, and she doesn't look very comfortable at all.
This is a real concern for Arsenal. Dan Carter, so impressive for them last season. Their top scorer, scored the winner in the FA Cup final. She is at least sitting up. No sign of the stretcher as yet. Sunderland make their second substitution. Steph Roche comes off. And number 16, Molly Lambert, comes on. Made her debut this season, the 19-year-old. 2 substitute appearances in the FA Cup so far. This her league debut for Sunderland. Plays as a central midfielder, so it will mean a reshuffle for Sunderland, and that's good news for Arsenal. Dan Carter back up and seemingly ready to come back on.
Yeah, good for Arsenal, because I think she's been quite threatening in terms of getting on the ball and driving past players at times, so they'll be happy to see her. able to carry on.
It's one of those where a player goes down and you just think, oh, is it a dislocation? Thankfully, not for Dan Carter. She is back on. And Stanifeth has it for Sunderland. Nice ball through from Lindberg, almost found Abby Joyce. Arsenal bring it away through Williams. And now Janssen. Williams again. Knobs. Okay. Stanifeth again, who has been everywhere in this match. But then loose play from Williams. Carter cuts it back. Williams gets it away. Holmes with a good challenge completes the clearance. Well, she got lucky there, Victoria Williams, as Abby Holmes protests the award of the throw to Arsenal. But it's noticeable that Sunderland haven't given the ball away in dangerous positions by sloppy play that often. I think I can count it on one hand, that, and then there was an opportunity in the first half as well that allowed Arsenal to have a break on goal with Dan Carter, but generally they've been very organised in defence, particularly when they've been in possession.
Yeah, I think they've had a clear game plan and they've stuck to it, in all fairness. So, fair play.
Well, Arsenal were heavy favourites coming into this game, particularly with Sunderland's more part-time status this season in mind. They will have more players that are playing on part-time contracts, although they still have 9 full-time players as Carter wins a free kick for Arsenal. But with Notts County in mind, Mary Earps, and the sad news on the eve of the Spring Series season that they had to fold, you can perhaps understand why some clubs feel that it's perhaps better to go more part-time earlier on than try and stay more full-time and reach a situation where the club ends up not being sustainable from the perspective of the owners.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's up to them to make it work. They've made the decision, and if they can get a result against Arsenal, then they'll probably say it's not all that bad.
Williams drives one over from distance, which Preuss watches. Well, we know she can hit them. Farrah Williams, down in England history, of course, as well as being England's most capped player in the men's or the women's game. Scored that extra time winner against Germany, which secured England that historic bronze in Canada in 2015. She'll be at Euro 2017 in the summer. McCabe, lovely ball looking for Kelly. Kelly, excellent recovery by Hayley Sharp. Danger still not cleared, McCabe. Well, in the end, Sharp got back again to put her off. But Arsenal's movements in and around the box causing Sunderland problems.
I think that was a tremendous opportunity to go 1-0. I'm not sure how it's not in the back of the net. It was a good touch for Katie McCabe to get it out of her feet, but she just did not execute the strike very well at all, and it's dribbled into the goalkeeper's hands.
So it remains goalless into the final 15 minutes. Can Arsenal snatch a winner? Or will they drop points here at Sunderland? Or could Sunderland get their first win against Arsenal for the first time since 2009? Janssen did well to keep it in. Holmes using her strength. Janssen wasn't too happy with that. Holmes has played well today. Little risky back from Hill. Bannon clears. One back by O'Reilly from Lambert. The third female coach in WSL 1 this season, Mel Ray. After Emma Hayes at Chelsea and Kelly Chambers, of course, at your club, Mary, Reading. How important is it to have female coaches at the top level in WSL 1, or does it just have to be the best person for the job gets the job?
For me personally, I think it doesn't matter. for me, gender's irrelevant. If you know your stuff, if you're a good coach, if you're a good manager, if you're a good people person, then for me it doesn't matter whether you're female or male, but it's good to see more female coaches at a higher level, because we talk about gender equality all the time, and you want more female coaches at least available to be selected from the pool of coaches available.
Corner taken short by Arsenal. Knobs hooks it in, cleared by Sunderland. Abby Holmes again back there, using her physical presence to ensure that the Sunderland back line remains unbreached. Okay. Away from Joyce, and then Brunenberg, who brings her down. Another Arsenal free kick.
Yeah, I think that was smart play by McCabe, really. I thought when she was kind of holding on to it nonchalantly, kind of flicking it up in the air, that maybe it would get taken off her, but she used the ball well used her body well, to shield the ball, which meant Brunenberg had to come through her.
Williams stands over this for Arsenal. Cleared away at the back by Sunderland. But as we approach the final 12 minutes of this game, it is the away side who are cranking up the pressure. Nice turn by Van der Donk. Holmes clears it behind for a corner. And Sunderland having to stay concentrated and hold firm, particularly because Arsenal have taken this corner short. Whipped in, and Preuss punches behind, challenging with Chloe Kelly.
Yeah, she just about did enough to put it out for a corner there.
Again, Arsenal take the corner short, trying to catch Sunderland off guard. Whipped in, headed away by Williams, comes out to Knobs, shot blocked. Will fall to Patton, up against Sharp, and out for another corner.
Again, Sunderland throwing their bodies at everything, blocking every shot, every cross. There's been quite a lot of corners in this game because the ball's ricocheting off them and going out. But they'll take it as long as Arsenal don't get clear shots on target, I think, at this point.
This time Van der Donk does swing it in. Headed away by Williams. Knobs, great save by Preuss, keeping Arsenal at bay. Swung back in, looking for McCabe, goes behind. McCabe claims the corner.
Yeah, I think that's a good save. It's going to come through bodies, maybe not hit with the most power and kind of centrally, but all that matters is it hasn't gone in the back of the net, and she's kept her side in the game.
Well, Anke Preuss has played all 3 games this season. She kept that clean sheet against Birmingham, and she keeps it 0-0 at the Hessen Centre. Former German youth international. She was actually part of the squad that were runners-up at the 2012 Under-20 World Cup, so a high pedigree, showing her worth as a new signing for Sunderland this afternoon. Van der Donk up against Ramshaw, trolling the ball almost, and nicked away from her by Abby Joyce, using her pace, and she set Lambert away. Lambert up against the Arsenal defence, pulls it back to Ramshaw. Sunderland have support on the right-hand side with Holmes. With the ball in to the groans of the Sunderland crowd is poor. Van Veenendaals turn to launch the attack. I think Stanifith has just bent down to tie her shoelace or adjust her boot there, and the ball just went over her in midfield. Picked up by Kelly. Janssen. Field to Williams. Janssen again. Williams tries the through ball to Dan Carter. Cleared away by Williams. Collected by Holmes. Under pressure from Kelly. Sharp completes the clearance. Arsenal come again. Van der Donk to O'Reilly. Carter up against Williams. Staniford there, helping out as well. Lambert there, helping out as well. Now Staniford, back heel to Lambert. Sunderland bring it away.
Generally, Sunderland have defended quite patiently.
Though they've given Katie McCabe a sight at goal here. Chips it in, looking for Carter. Back to Nobbs. Lays it off, and the shot again saved by Preuss from Van der Donk. Arsenal attack still alive, and Van der Donk in the end miscontrols. Another good stop from Preuss.
Yeah, good stop. Late in the game, needed to be made. So yeah, great again for her to keep her side in the game. I think generally, as I was saying earlier, that Sunderland have defended quite patiently. They've given away a couple of fouls, but generally they've allowed Arsenal to maybe take that extra unnecessary touch, and you've seen that quite often over the last 5 or 10 minutes. You know, players taking an extra touch on the edge of the box that wasn't necessary, and Sunderland can just pinch it.
So Louise Quinn is on for Danielle Van der Donk to make her Arsenal debut, having signed from Notts County ahead of this game after Notts County, of course, folded as a club on the eve of the Spring Series. She only joined Notts County in February, so a debut for her. Joyce coming forward for Sunderland. Cuts it back. Not quite find the right ball. Sunderland keep it alive though. Ramshaw, now Brunnenberg, looking for Joyce. Need away at the back, collected by Hill. You get the sense that Sunderland have certainly not given up snatching a late winner in this game.
Yeah, I think they look a little bit tired now, and to be honest, I would be, because they have defended for the majority of this second half. But you know, they've got to keep going, and I think it'll be a great result for them if they can grind this out with Arsenal having as much possession and play forward as they have.
Nobbs. Williams. Little short there for Patton. She did well to get there. Williams again, headed away by Williams, Victoria Williams. Now Wibbenmoy for McCabe, nice touch. And again, voices behind it.
Yeah, I think that's a tame effort. I don't think it's really troubled. They've not troubled the goalkeeper too much. A couple of decent saves from her over the last 10 minutes, but I think Katie McCabe would have wanted to get behind that shot a little bit more.
Well, she's certainly not afraid to have a go, Katie McCabe. Certainly since she came on, Arsenal have tried their luck from outside the area rather than always perhaps trying to work it through.
No, I think you're right. I think that's fair. I think, you know, she's, you know, at least they've created opportunities and had opportunities on target, and you know, if you don't get them on target, you're never going to score. So.
And Arsenal now having made their 3 substitutions, we will not see a return to Sunderland for Beth Mead this afternoon. She is on the bench. Sunderland's top scorer, having joined Arsenal in January, but she did break her collarbone last month, so you wonder whether she really would ever have been fit to play despite making the matchday squad this afternoon. Arsenal with the throw. Patton well intercepted by Staniford, who would you say has been Sunderland's player of the match today, Mary Earps?
Yeah, I think she's been up there with one of their best players. I think in the first half in particular, I think she was really quite calm in possession. In the second half, she's had more of a defensive role where she's had to put her foot in and make some challenges and commit a few fouls, as you've seen there. I think as well, Victoria Williams in this second half in particular has distributed the ball quite well as a centre half. So yeah, those two have stood out for me today.
Well, a dangerous set piece for Arsenal late in this game. Katie McCabe stands over it. You can hear the shouts from the Sunderland coach Mel Ray urging her players to get out. McCabe swings it in. It's a poor delivery and will not trouble any of the Sunderland back line.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that. for it to just go out of play. Particularly at this late stage in the game, you want to be making every opportunity count. But if this second half is anything to go by, I think they'll keep the pressure on until the very final minute, and I wouldn't rule out a last-minute goal.
3 minutes plus added time to play. Sunderland on course for a hugely impressive result that would leave them unbeaten from 2 in the Spring Series. Passing. Carter hasn't really been in the game for the past 5 or 10 minutes. Williams tries to release Carter. It's chested down by Staniforth, under pressure. Out for a throw, didn't perhaps get the distance on it that she would have liked, but anywhere will do at the moment for Sunderland as they try to hold on in the face of this Arsenal pressure. Patton. Ball behind, did it get a touch? It did, it will be a corner. Well, they will be delighted if their side can hold on for a point. They'll have to defend this set piece though, which McKay prepares to take. So high ball again, headed up by Hill, helped on by Sharp. Collected though. Falls to Nobbs. Tries one. And it's over.
Yeah, I think quite a lot of Arsenal's shots on goal have come from outside the box, particularly in the last 20 minutes. And I think that's just a credit to Sunderland's defending and the way they've put their bodies on the line. You can see they really, really, really do not want to concede in this game.
So impressive for Sunderland defensively. They had the second worst defence in WSL 1 last season, conceding 41 goals, and so far they faced Birmingham and Arsenal, who finished 3rd and 4th last season, and so far have not conceded. But Preuss unable to prevent that going out for the corner. Arsenal running out of opportunities, but they have another one.
I think Sunderland have been so disciplined, so disciplined, and they've not taken any risks in this last 20-25 minutes. They've been under the cosh, they know it, and they've just looked to clear their nines, not overcomplicated things.
Final minute of normal time. McCabe takes the corner short, gets it back from O'Reilly, swings it in, cleared by Sunderland, picked up by Lambert, urged forward by the home fans, dispossessed though by McCabe. Carter. O'Reilly. Carter again. 2 minutes added time to play. As Sunderland win a free kick. Maddie Hill, it looks like, going down. And it looks as though Dan Carter, although she stayed on after that shoulder injury, is running slightly awkwardly, holding her arm, that left arm, in an awkward way. Arsenal, of course, have made all their substitutions, but you would think if it's giving her that much trouble, perhaps really she should come off.
Well, I think, you know, I know that I'd have to be dead for you to sub me. So I
even as a goalkeeper, if your arm wasn't working, Maria, that's risky, isn't
I've
it?
still got my face and other things to block the ball with. So no, you'd have to kill me to take me off for sure. So I relate to that.
Dan Carter clearly cut from the same cloth as Mary Earps. Arsenal coming forward. Good challenge by Holmes. Nobbs almost wins it back. Williams. Into the box, headed clear. Helped on by Holmes. Can Arsenal find a late winner? Or can Sunderland hit them on the counter? Too much on that for Ramshaw. Good play by Williams, but the pass to McCabe was poor. Hill tries to set Joyce away. Van Veenendaal anticipates well. flick from O'Reilly. Carter, bit of space, played back in, looking for O'Reilly, but the execution was poor. And Preuss gathers very calmly. And that may well be that. And it is full time. A hugely impressive point for Sunderland ladies. 0-0 with Arsenal ladies. And Mary Earps, Arsenal, for all their pressure and dominance at stages in the game, not as emphatic at all in scoreline or in performance perhaps as we would have expected.
No, I think they kept the ball well at times. You know, I really don't think, you know, they'll be going away thinking that was the worst performance that they've ever had. I just think that they didn't do enough with the ball. They didn't create enough opportunities, and ultimately they could not break Sunderland down. I don't think they'll be happy that with how little they worked the goalkeeper. So yeah, I think that, you know, both sides have got a lot to work on. I think Sunderland will definitely be delighted to take a clean sheet, a draw, but a clean sheet more importantly from that game. But you know, I'd ask, even though, you know, they haven't scored, they won't be happy, and they'll definitely see it as points dropped. You know, I don't think that they will be thinking that's the worst thing in the world to ever have happened, and they will be looking to just continue to build going into the next games in the Spring Series.
Well, the post-mortems will start to commence on the pitch for the Arsenal and Sunderland players. Reading goalkeeper Mary Earps, thanks very much for joining us this afternoon. Don't forget, if you're watching us in the UK, you can also tune in to BBC One tonight for the Women's Football Show at 11:45 this evening, 1:45 in Scotland. And we're back on Wednesday with live television coverage of the champions Manchester City taking on Birmingham. That's 7 o'clock UK time, and you can watch on the website or via the BBC Red button. Thanks for joining us, and wherever you are in the world, have a very good rest of your day.